Guys, so this week I posted a video on TikTok debating whether we actually did land on the moon. And it was constructive to see people debating in the comment section, making their points, other people making their points. So I got a few inboxes off people to do a more long length video on this subject. It was also quite funny to see how many people just jumped the gun and assumed that I'm a flat earther. I'm not a flat earther. I'm open to the idea of it being a globe and to the idea of it being flat. And in all honesty, I'm not really that concerned about that. But one thing I definitely do believe is that NASA tell many, many lies. And for the record, I don't claim to be some expert on space. I'm just going off what I've read and what I see. There's a lot of people on the internet who seem to think they're experts on everything. I hold my hands up and I say, no, I'm not. I'm just giving my opinion on the matter. You also get many, many rude people who, can tell you never went to school. Oh, you're not an expert. Yeah, I know. To be honest, yeah, I didn't really care much for school. But I mean, in my brain, I see it as that when I distorted what teachers were telling me and I was wondering and thinking more critically, I feel that that was a blessing because it distorted and blocked out all the indoctrination that school gave us. If it wasn't for that, and I was a bit more subservient because all I ever did was listen to information that was fed to me by teachers, then, maybe I would have got the jab. And I'm glad I didn't, because we've seen all the serious health issues and the abomination that has happened to so many people after those. So yeah, the first thing that got me, the very, very first thing, people speak with their mouths, but the way we communicate and show our true intentions is through body language. Do you remember the famous photo taken when these astronauts came back? Someone could be having a bad day, spilt coffee in the car. Why do they all look so goddamn miserable collectively? It's almost like they're hiding something. You've just achieved the greatest technological milestone of this century. And yet you look like you're at a funeral. I don't go off what people say. I go off intuition. I go off how I analyse and read a situation. And to me, that, from the get-go, is like, what is really, really going on? These guys look so goddamn miserable. I've seen people happier to win a game of rock, paper, scissors. Pretty much every picture I've ever seen released by NASA just looks photoshopped and just doesn't look authentic. It doesn't look like the photos don't look like they have life in them. They look pixelated and artificial. And it's the same with these photos of them on the moon. Playing golf on the moon buggy. It's just so Hollywood and fake and gimmicky. Everyone always likes to point out, where are the stars in these photos? There's supposed to be trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of them, and you can't see one. They say the camera settings they used were for daylight exposure. Why didn't you bring a camera with another setting so we could see the beauty of the stars? You could bring a golf club and you could bring your moon buggy, but you couldn't bring a camera that was specific so we could see the stars from the moon. Really? Another point being the most common one that you hear many, many people say is the flag. If space is a vacuum and there's no climate or wind on the moon, why was the US flag blowing? They said the flag was on a horizontal rod and it was and it was disturbed when planted. I call BS. There probably was no wind. You had a wind machine in your Hollywood studio and you turned it on so it'd blow for the symbolism and the iconicness of the flag blowing. Let's be honest. Now when they landed that tinfoil lunar module that looks like a 9-year-old science project, why did it leave no marks underneath? There was no crater, there was no nothing. They say the moon's made of solid rock, but it has a layer of dust. That's why you seen footprints. Yeah, the footprints that didn't match the boots that they wore. Why did it leave nothing behind? Not a trace. If the weight of an astronaut is enough to leave footprints on the moon, why wouldn't the spacecraft? Someone please make it make sense. Because 1 and 1 makes 2. And that's not what I'm getting with this.
Gary, it didn't happen. It could have been scary.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened.
I remember my parents waking me up and we went down and we watched you guys land on the moon.
No, you didn't.
What?
You watched animation.